The circle is now complete. We have returned to the sacred room where this all started many moons ago. Precisely, like, what, 6 months ago?
8 months ago. We did this in January.
Right.
It was right after New Year's. No, we didn't do it in December. It was January.
It was
So I was
definitely
looking for my photos and I saw we were like,
Before we started recording, I told Joey someone has to do a side by side of the first episode and this one just to see the visual improvements.
I don't want to look at that.
I do want to look at it because I feel like it's cool because it just shows how much more quality we've
It
gained.
looks bad.
It does look bad, but that's the point. We're gonna, Joey, 12 years from now, we're gonna look back at
12
this and be like, "Geez, that was our 12th episode."
Is that going to be our commitment now? Next commitment's 12 years.
I guess we'll see if we last that long.
Joey and Tom, 12 years, 100 episodes.
12 episodes, 12 years. Podcast for life.
100 episodes, 12 years. 12 years, 100 episodes. Woo.
It's interesting because, like, you have some podcasts that end, but you also have some podcasts that, like, have existed since they've started.
Yeah. Well, you also have like ones that go on like seasonal breaks.
Yeah, that too.
I feel like that's a lot of the ones that have been going on for a while. They're the ones that take.
We took a little season break.
We took an unintentional seasonal break.
It was unintentional.
And then we were like, we should take a break, and we're like, what if we just extend the corn break? Which I guess gets into the kind of the force thing of, I guess it's kind of established what this episode is. So this is for those who are unaware, when we first started the Safe State, I guess project
venture,
how we want to put it, or I guess more experiment might be the better way to put it.
The Safe State experiment.
Honestly, it was very much an experiment.
I mean, it was.
We said at the very beginning that like this could end at episode 12.
Still could.
We'll see how this conversation. We can see how this episode goes. This is, it's a much longer episode than our average episode.
So. Denmark, if we have a fight in this episode, make it super dramatic and leave it all in. We'll get so many views.
I could probably pick up this chair.
Oh God! Just destroy the room.
Yeah. Oh God, the palm tree. That's off camera.
Off camera, yeah.
But
off camera palm tree.
Yep.
That's our mascot.
The palm tree. Not the floppy disk, but the palm tree.
He needs a floppy disk.
He needs a floppy disk.
I keep having.
Kids don't know what a floppy disk is anymore. It's the save icon from Google Docs.
I keep having like thoughts of like, okay, this, but 10 years down the line, or like maybe not that much, but like 5 years down the line, we have like, you know, that like Plushie Foundry, that website where a lot of YouTubers get their like little plushies made.
Mm-hmm.
I pictured in my mind like a cartoon animated floppy disk with arms and legs and like a cartoon smile, and I'm just like, that's our legacy.
See, I've always been more of a makeshift kind of
guy. That Plushie Foundry is just the first.
I'll be honest, I've never heard of Plushie Foundry.
It's just one that I think I ordered one from there. One.
Gotcha. No, but no. So pretty much, we said when we first started this, we were like, okay, we're going to do 12 episodes, kind of a fourth
test
season, run. And then from there, we'll see how we feel. And pretty quickly, we kind of felt that we want to keep doing this beyond. I'd say probably around like episode like 6 or 7. We were both like, okay, we really want to keep moving forward with this project. Past the initial, like, I guess, planned season or episodes.
I think really because you were ready to just go.
I was ready to go from the beginning.
Me, I was more hesitant because as I've stated before, doing this podcast, I've wanted to do it right. I don't want to like do it and kind of like in a half sort of way. I wanted to put all of my effort into it when we do it. And really, it was just like, okay, how does that look like on top of my life in general? And it really hasn't been that much of it
Um,
as much of a everyday thing as I guess I thought it would be in my head.
yeah.
But
I think especially like, and we've kind of gone on and off of it, but we're trying to get something special to record this episode. Get back into like in terms of us recording one episode a week, and then having that episode come out, afterwards, of course.
mm-hmm.
We've had times we've recorded a couple of episodes at once, times we've done one or two, we've done ones that are more sporadic. Stuff like Too Many Games, that was more just like in the moment we
Yeah,
recorded it. I think I think that one was the same week we recorded episode 10 with Lucas. It was like a day or two before he left for Too Many
oh
Games.
yeah,
So we did those two back to back. But then this episode we are recording a week before this one's coming out.
mm-hmm.
Episode 11 came out last week for us.
Yes,
And we recorded that 2 months ago now.
yeah, because that was the same.
That was June 27th
Yeah,
or 28th. Whatever the 29th, because it's the last day of Too Many Games when we recorded.
so it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been since we recorded the episode. It probably shows a little bit, but
It's all right.
I guess going into that, and I was planning for this to be a topic for later, but I feel like we're kind of going into it already. So this is kind of the end of our fourth season.
Mm-hmm.
I want to officially call it season one. I know we've thrown on different names, but I feel like the idea of calling it like season 10 or season 0 is kind of stupid. So
pilot season.
Well, pilot season, that was another one that I was trying to make happen. I didn't like either.
Well, it's just I feel like there's a certain level of legitimacy that comes with a title like season. Like it's like, yeah, this is the first time we've done this, and so putting like a different title on it, like being like, oh yeah, this is just our experiment. Like it kind of devalues all that we did in these 12 episodes. So it's like we want to give it a little its due graces.
I definitely think it's going to be the shortest season.
Oh yeah,
because going forward, we don't have set plans for how many episodes season 2 is going to be. Outside the fact that we're going to be rolling straight into it, we do plan. Hopefully, I don't regret saying this, but pretty much, we really want to stick to a week by week schedule after this, and season 2 should be next week after this episode. Season 2, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we'll probably still. Well, we haven't even discussed about this, but if we're going to redo the episode count, or we're just going to go 13, 14, 15, this is kind of the next set. We haven't discussed anything like that because we could restart the count, but we could also keep it going.
It's an interesting discussion.
Something to think about, but in terms of, I guess, production, how we're going to change some stuff up. I know you talk about updating the intro now that we have more than one episode to work off of.
I was gonna say, funny enough, I was going to do that for episode 10 with Lucas because I was gonna do a like special guest Lucas segment for it. I realized that you had already gotten to the point where everything was uploaded. You just needed a thumbnail, and I was like, "Word," and then I just sent you the thumbnail. And it ended up being easier anyways because like
it takes you a long time to download that big of a file because it's like a 5 gigabyte file.
It is big, so it was like whatever, and so now I have to comb through all the episodes and figure out what clips I want to put for us and like just in general. And I have thoughts about what to do for that sort of thing. I'm not too worried, but maybe I can pin John down and get an actual
thing for him
instead of just my vinyl player spinning. Yeah. Although that was a good.
I like it though. I do like it.
I will say in terms of production, this has been a lot of it. Safe State has taught me a lot of like, okay, how do we like problem solving?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff that we do, since we're a lot more lower key, like we're not a high production thing at all, we have a lot of moments where like, we need to fix this, and so we just try our best to cobble something
figure it out as we go.
But it's
kind of I just thought about this. I feel like Safe State's in a similar state. The for those who follow my channel Joey64, we do these charity events twice a year for the AFSP, and those we started back in 2021, 2022, and kind of safe state where it's now kind of reminds me of like where we started with that,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like we're just now entering like 2023. That was when we started like kind of getting a bit more of a formula down for the charity events
Yeah.
after we did a couple. And I just had that epiphany now, like in my head. Like I feel like we're in a similar state. We're kind of in that early stage of like figuring out. Very
Trying
much like
things.
there's not a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Really, I feel it's really just why we're doing it. We're kind of flowing
We're
through.
setting the bar, but the bar is low. But
Yeah.
as we go forward, the bar gets higher and higher, and eventually it's just going to be high to where it's
Yeah.
like, all right.
But the event, my primary goal is I want to just like really streamline the production.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that is like making sure like something we've recently done now. We have a Google folder that has raw footage, completed projects,
Mm-hmm.
and then like
Making sure everyone's on the same page.
on that. We have a group chat now, which we didn't have probably up till like
It's like
2
episode
episodes
3.
ago.
Yeah.
Well, we've had one for a while, but we've been actively using it.
Oh yeah, actually.
We haven't really
that's
viewed because even with that, it was a lot of like either like you and Denmark talking or me and him, or there's very much a triangle,
Mm-hmm.
but like there's no center of the triangle. Now that we do all the discussions there because it's like
Yes.
for the podcast at least,
Mm-hmm.
it's like why. What even if it is like mostly just you and him talking,
It's still, you should know what's going on.
all three of us should know what's going on. And that's it's very much been like obviously it's like me and Tom's show,
Mm-hmm.
but like we've talked about this idea like Denmark's kind of almost like a third like entity. He's the perspective of the viewer. I'd like to say he's the one who he sees all of it, and he gets what we talk about, and it thinks, okay, what do people want to see?
Mm-hmm.
He sees
what
all
they
of
don't
it,
want to see,
or what they don't want to see, and then from there he gives y'all pretty much you all see his perspective.
Yes.
He edits it. He has all of its little fireworks and whatever I was just talking about with Thomas. I don't really pay attention much to what Denmark edits. I do like skim through it just to like kind of look at different parts.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much ever since I think like episode 3, I've really been hands off in terms of the editing because I've been really impressed with what he does. I trust him,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, and ultimately, this has been more the business side of it. I just simply don't want to edit the episodes. Slash don't have really the time, which is not saying I don't I take it for granted, but that's a big reason when we started the podcast. I remember telling you, I'm like, unless you're gonna edit all the episodes, I ain't got time.
It's a big time.
And you've edited 1 or 2 of the episodes.
I've done like 1 or 2, a little bit of work here. I don't really like the main brunt of the episodes. I don't really do. I mean, obviously, I edit the intro and like I do the thumbnails, but like that's the amount of editing I put towards.
The only time I've edited was when I went on about thumbnails for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and
that was an interesting topic, just because that was highly specific.
I would say one of the things I've learned from doing the podcast is like keeping in mind the final product.
Yes,
because that's something I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do something like that again. Just from the perspective of like, one, that ended up being like half the episode that wasn't really that episode topic, and then more what I could do is like think about it like, oh, this could probably be its own topic one day. Finish whatever thought I had and kind of keep going on, or B, keep in mind the fact that you're going to get all these thumbnails together, and like that, I even bring it up on. In the moment, there's a part of the episode where I'm like, oh, let me say this as I'm going. I'm like, oh, never mind, I shouldn't do that. And that's in the episode, which is fine. I'm not like, I don't have any qualms with that. But it's one of those things of like, okay, like trying to do too much in one package. That's one of the things I think I took away. Keeping in mind, one, to make it easier for Denmark on editing, but one of the things we started doing, which I'm realizing we did in the last couple episodes, we didn't do in this one. We say clearly, and it gets cut out like intro, end of intro, and then like main episode. So this one we pretty much just kind of rolled right into, so it's not too bad. But I think that's be more of aware of all the moving parts.
Yeah,
it's something I've kind of taken over the last couple.
Every stage that the episode will go through should get as much thought as the one that you're currently in.
Yeah.
So like we're doing it live, but we got to think about what it'll be like when it goes up. Which is interesting. There's been a lot of like, obviously with creating anything, there are aspects that you don't realize when you go into it, but then you do it and it's like, oh yeah, you got to do this, like,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. But um we've been talking a little bit about episodes, and I'm a little curious. Do you have any episode that has become one of your favorites just for any reason or other?
In all honesty, and I was getting ready to pull this up. I was getting ready to pull down up the episode list. Let me pull that up real quick.
Open YouTube Studio.
I'm on YouTube Music. Get on my level. I'm subscribed.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, no. No, it's funny. We've actually looking at it. We have technically done 11. This is technically the 14th episode we've done. So we did 2.5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about those. So we had because I was thinking about it in my head. I'm like, we started in April because we did April 4th with videos on our channels. We started the following Friday, and I was like, we didn't miss that many weeks, and we didn't miss as many weeks I thought we did.
No.
Outside like the kind of break that 1 month we took a break, kind of like June, July. But no, so just kind of looking through them right here. I think it's one of the few because at the beginning I did the Force. I'm looking at the thumbnails right now.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely tell which ones are the early thumbnails and which ones are the ones that you've done versus me.
Yeah, because after the last one I did was episode 6. After that, you've done all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like your thumbnails work a lot better for the tone we're going for in the podcast. Mine are very much more like live streamy.
Yeah,
that's what I've been making for years,
which is fair.
But going through the actual episodes, I really enjoyed the tier list one.
That one was.
I'm trying to find.
That was number 2.
Is that 2?
I think so, because that's the.
Well, that's the best video games about the tier list we did at my house.
Oh shoot! Which tier list then?
The Sonic tier list.
Oh, that's guessing Sonic. Your favorite Sonic
episode
games.
4. It's the 4th episode we did after.
That was a really neat concept for doing that. Oh, what's so funny?
So whenever there's some behind the scenes.
So oh god, yeah.
Whenever I make so here's in terms of the production pipeline, we'll give you all a bit of an insight on that. So we decided day we'll record an episode, record it, we do this, and we have it on our phones. We have a little like schedule of like the stuff we want to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't try to say like now we're doing the main topic and stuff like that. We kind of roll into it.
Yeah.
Like we just did here, talk about our favorite episode topics. That was planned to come up.
But it was done in a way where you didn't think about it.
Yeah, it's organic.
Natural. It's very organic.
And now I'm gonna point it out, so now I ruined it for everyone.
It's fine. This is a meta episode anyway.
Yeah. Anyhow, but then obviously it gets sent to Denmark on the drive. He edits it. I throw him some money. Some money. I throw him one.
We throw him a nickel.
I throw him a nickel per episode.
He can't even use it.
But he appreciates exchange rates. It probably becomes a dime. Anyhow,
no, we mail him a nickel.
We mail him a U.S. nickel, so we can't use
That's what his paycheck takes 2 weeks to come in.
Yeah, it typically does, because I typically pay him when I get paid. So I communicate that with him. Anyhow, most of the time.
Pulling back the curtain way back.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
It's fine.
If you go on my channel, at least I've talked about a lot of stuff on my channel.
Oh yeah, it's more just funny.
But so then he gives it back to me. And pretty much I'm always the one who uploads it. I do title, description, tags, hashtags, because tags and hashtags are 2 different things on YouTube. Playlists, all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube has a feature when you upload stuff, you use reuse settings, and I literally will reuse everything from the previous episode, and then I'll just go mainly because I like make sure like the colon safe state podcast whatever it's the same every time. I just update the number. But because you have something like if you look at episode 4, It says, "Welcome to the third episode of the Safe State Podcast. In today's episode, we discuss stories of road trips, new and old." And that's the exact description from episode 3. Because from when I hit,
Oh.
we use, I probably done that most fifth.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, no, I haven't done that in any other one.
Okay. 4 is interesting too because as you were talking about it, I realized the debacle of 4 because we don't have our actual like so that video ended up being like a just the tier list and like our voices, but there was video that was supposed to be with
Oh,
that.
because that's when we try to.
We used my camera, but
That's
Joey
right.
I told Joey to I don't know what happened with it now because I'm really confused because it was totally like
Mm-hmm.
you did everything you were supposed to do. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
But like you must have like double pressed the button so it started and then stopped the second
Did
you
we
did
ever use your camera in an episode?
No, I
Because the next
I
one
don't
we
think
went back
so.
to the webcam.
Yeah, we just decided it
And then
wasn't.
I think by then I had the Switch 2 camera.
Oh, you know what we did? We did use the second one, or the episode 5, but you also had your webcam there. I remember because that it bothered me so much, but I had to let it go
Yeah.
because the footage is slightly tilted, and you can't get it to look right.
Yeah.
And I was really mad, but it was because we were going to use my camera, but then we didn't like how it turned out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or there was more issues. Basically, we decided with my camera that it was not worth it.
Yeah.
And you got the Switch 2 camera pretty soon after anyway, so
Because by the time we knew about the Switch 2 camera, we were like, well, that's going to be. Because we were always going to use that for. Our first plan to use it for these episodes. They went great.
mm-hmm.
Then now it's just I haven't used my USB one I use on streams for years and for the podcast at the start.
Yeah.
That I am not. I used it recently for something. I can't remember what. I think it was during the charity event for some reason. What was it for? Something during the charity event. Our tech guy, he asked for a second webcam. I don't remember why, because I don't think we ever had 2 cameras. But I remember giving
I
it to
think
him.
we were trying to figure out a setup for like cooking.
It might have been for
but I
cooking,
can't
but
quite
then we
remember.
got the gimbal and that's we've talked about one day we want to do a episode talk about the charity events. That's a different topic, but no, talk about favorite ones in terms of recording. Episode 4, I liked how it flowed. I feel like I did a really good amount of planning for that one, and that helped out a lot.
I feel like going back, whenever we like put a lot of thought into episodes, they typically turn out pretty good. Not like too much, but like have a bit more of just a concept and then riffing off of it in the episode. That doesn't work as much, but like you made your thing ahead of time and I had time to think about it.
Yeah, it's why I like that. Like we talk about how we have a schedule we have a shared Google Note, and we probably didn't start doing that until
it was that episode where we really started it.
But I know we didn't do it. I think the death of the Let's Play was the first time I actually we started trying to do it every episode.
Yeah,
because it was sporadic. Death of the Let's Play. I definitely did it for. Gaming Would You Rather's. You had that. That was we didn't have that for that one, but we had the Gaming Would You Rather's on your phone.
Yes.
And then Lucas, we didn't. No, we didn't do it for too many games. I don't
think
I sent it to you, but
that was interesting too because we did that immediately after, so it was a lot more like.
Well, it was very much just day 1, day 2, day 3.
Yeah, it wasn't too complicated.
And even then, we ended up just bouncing around a whole bunch.
Yeah. That's typically how it goes.
Which was, it worked out. That was a nice one.
4 was really good. I really want to do the antithesis of that episode. Same formula, just
like swap it.
I make a tier list of something that like I'm really have a high affection for, and then you like something you would know my opinions on a little bit. I know we've talked about before. I'm really into like the Pixar movies. And I know an idea that we had was I just make my tier list because that's a conversation we've had like off camera. But
see, I feel like that's enough where I could I wouldn't be able to get it all right, but I could.
You could get a few of them really.
I feel like it'd be similar to the Sonic one.
Yeah,
I don't think
you get them mostly correct.
I think the big thing with you was S and A tier.
Yeah,
you got a lot of those
because I knew those ones that you liked. I didn't remember which ones.
Which ones would be
more.
higher? Yeah. And then I remember you kept You only put like 2 or 3 in S. I think I had 5.
Yeah. I think that's a me thing too because like S is like one in a million games. Yeah. Like you never come across this great of a game, but I underestimate how much you like Sonic.
There's also a lot like with Sonic.
But also, all those games are pretty spaced apart too, so they kind
it
of are
was
that way.
Generations, which that's more Generations critically has gone down for me, not
Mhm.
by much, but a decent amount. Well, critically, I probably would have put an A, but it was my fourth Sonic game, so just so high up there.
Yeah.
Adventure 2, up until recently, where not Adventure 2, sorry, Adventure 2 used to be up there in S tier. Recently, after I 100% Adventure, and I realized I actually prefer Adventure more than Adventure 2,
Mhm.
those swap places.
Yeah.
Because you put Adventure 2 in S tier.
I did.
Which for the longest time, they're still very neck and neck. I can see, I don't know. After playing the multiplayer with y'all, the charity event, I was kind of like, man, if we do this a couple more times, maybe this will become my favorite again.
That was pretty great. But
And then it was Frontiers, Unleash, Shattered Generations. You
because
put that in
you like that game a lot more than I thought you did.
Unleash is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because I finally I replayed it right after I played Frontiers, or a couple months later,
Mhm.
and I was like, because everyone kept asking me, what do you like more, Frontiers or Unleash? And I was like, it's Unleash still, only by a margin. But no, and then Frontiers, and then I remember another one. I think you put Shadow Generations in B.
Mhm.
But that was no,
I definitely put it in A.
no, you put that in S. I put it in A because I only
Oh,
had four
right.
in S tier. That's why.
That's fair.
Because I remember I remember you going between like B, A, and S because it's still not like a full game, and that's why I put it in A. Because I'm like, it's amazing, but it's also only like a few hours.
Yeah.
Um, but
That
yeah,
was a good episode
I
though.
enjoyed that one.
I definitely that was one of the more fun ones. I guess for me, I really enjoyed having Lucas um on episode 10. That was
Mhm.
really fun. Um I think just adding a third dynamic in any way to the podcast is
Yeah.
always like funny because especially so late because like
Mhm.
we had our routine, but Lucas kind of like threw stuff off, but in like the best way, like in a natural conversation
Yeah.
sort of way. And it was like Lucas is also just our longtime friend anyway, so
Yeah.
like we can riff off of him pretty great and he can do that with us. But if
That
I
one very
had
much came and went for me. Not in like a bad way, but it was very much like I couldn't recall that one too well. I enjoyed it.
I remember we argued about Breath of the Wild a lot.
Yeah, that one I think was a lot more focused on you two. I talked a good amount at the beginning, but as it went on, and the conversation kind of
Hmm.
floated. Um, we also that was when we did not follow my notes at
Yeah.
all. Outside of like the beginning, so a lot of times when I think about these episodes, the first thing I think about is the notes because that's like me in isolation. So I'm like, I can remember that. So I remember that episode we went completely off in a good way, but off
Yeah.
the rails. So because of that, I'm just like, I don't remember
I think
anything.
that's been an important lesson too with just the podcast in general is like I think you talk about the thumbnail one because there was like or because that was Game of Would You Rather's, otherwise known as the thumbnail episode.
Episode.
But it was like there was a moment in that conversation where I was like, I really don't think we should be talking this long about thumbnails.
Yeah,
But it was like it was that call I had to make in my head because it was like I don't want to say something and like completely ruin like the conversation because it
yeah,
was a great conversation. Just like it it just was bordering on like it started off like as 30 minutes and I was like that's fine for an opening topic and then it was like getting longer and I was like oh man this is
yeah.
gonna like
I had a similar thought in my head, but I was also like, man, I'm like I don't. I had one time I had the thought in my head. I was like, we are so deep in this
it
conversation,
was kind of too
and part of
late.
me was almost like, if this goes on for like a little bit longer,
We just changed
we just
the
change the
episode.
topic.
I almost thought about that too.
But then the Would You Rather's came of it. Honestly, in retrospect, I feel like the Would You Rather's like I did enjoy them. I don't know if it would have been as entertaining for a full episode.
Yeah, so in that sense I'm
So
thankful
we
that we
went through
had
them
that.
pretty quick.
Yeah, I think if I had more time to like think about and actually like make up some, that could be
Yeah,
an interesting concept, but I that was a hard thing to like think of and there wasn't any like good lists that people had made already. But
exactly.
it's just interesting like the unspoken conversations that you have while having a separate conversation like as I'm speaking I look into your eyes and so like I could make a gesture of like I could do like this to like kind of and like that's obvious but
You
like
do this.
like
I love that.
see the first time you did it wasn't bad. I guess just put the clip here Denmark, it's from the have you uploaded that video yet? We need to fix that.
Climbing, is insane. I mean, I can't.
All right, Joey.
What? Yo.
Anyways, that's from something
I have a
that
long story.
you guys will see soon.
It'll be up by the time this episode comes up. Cause that's a week from now. So we did a big finale video for the charity event, basically, and when it was.
You were giving me and John.
The whole thing was staged.
You were giving me and John cues to like come in with the waters.
And the first one I went like this, and then I thought y'all were going to start immediately start walking, and I was still keeping my eyes towards the camera, so I couldn't look at y'all. I just did this. All I could see is y'all weren't walking forward in my peripheral vision. So then I like did this one again, and y'all still weren't just like doing a big movement forward. So then I went.
Because in retrospect, I was looking at John. I feel like I should have been looking at you because I wanted to synchronize our movements, so it wasn't like one came into frames first. But no, I edited that video, by the way.
We did 3 attempts of that.
I only remember the one.
It was at least 2.
Maybe we did.
It's the 4th time I didn't signal y'all, and that's why.
I only used the first
one. Okay.
But no, I edited that video, and I'm very proud of it, and I can't wait.
Luke might have not sent you the first.
He might not have.
The second one was when I did this, because the first, I know we did at least one, but by the end of that day, I was so
out of it.
I had a lot of fun doing that, but by the end of us doing the finale, I had to like almost fake it a little bit.
Yeah,
because it was. I'm sure there's several clips I won't.
Basically, just getting waterboarded.
Essentially,
yeah,
it was a lot. It was.
But it was good.
It was a lot of fun.
And the video turned out amazing.
Yeah.
When you guys see it.
No, it'll be, if you haven't watched already, it's out. I'm mainly saying that so I get pushed to get it out.
Just cut to next week and it's like not out.
There's a reason why it's not out, but
oh no,
it is what it is.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah, I see what you were saying about the thumbnail. The Luke's episode is good. That is our best performing episode.
Which is interesting.
That's done. Last time I checked, it was at 50 views. It's probably even more than that now. And that's the biggest thing. I'm like, my analytical side is like, okay, we need to do that again. Like the CEO in my mind, it's like, okay, we need to like. Is it because we had a guess? Is it because of the titles? Because of the thumbnail? You know, because that video also has a very high viewership duration. Which typically is the opposite when it's higher amount of views. So it's like, okay, I'm like. Something worked here, and the main thing the immediate takeaway I take from that is okay. We should do more guest episodes.
And that's something we both are pretty passionate about. Anyways, we want to have more people on. Maybe not like every episode is a guest episode, but like I wouldn't be opposed to doing more frequently either.
Yeah, because like at one point we talked about doing every 10 episodes, and that's like every 2.5 months.
Yeah,
assuming we're on time for 10 weeks in a row. So it's like that's a lot. That's a long time, you know. I feel like I'd want to be against them. Like we talked about how, like, you know, pretty much
just fitting people in instead of like making it
trying to be like, oh, this episode is like, hey, when they're available. And if it happens to be we have like 2 guests back to back, like that's not crazy. But I don't think we want to do any more than like 2 back to back.
We also talk about like the idea of evergreen episodes, to where it's like we don't talk about something specific enough to where it's like, we released the episode where we talk about the Switch 2 years after the Switch comes out.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't make sense. But us just talking about like video game music, like we might miss a few of like say we made a video about that a year ago. We wouldn't be able to talk about like Donkey Kong Bonanza. But like it's still a good topic, and we can. It's okay.
Can we just get a compilation every time Joey peeks the mic? I shouldn't say that. That's gonna make so much work.
Joey, that's too long.
That's the whole episode. In the early episodes, it's the whole episode. I will say something I've gotten better with in terms of with the podcast. Being conscious of the microphone. One, I haven't knocked into it at nearly as much as I used to. This episode not at all yet. Probably want to flick it as a joke,
I was gonna say, but now you're gonna do it.
Now I'm going to, because I'm like, but I have gotten a lot better, like kind of making my voice not. Kind of adding a little bit of monotone to my voice.
Yeah.
And it also helps with the vibe a bit more.
It helps that my voice is very monotone, so I have the opposite problem where I have to like sometimes give a little bit more so that so it picks up. But like at a baseline level I'm there, but like sometimes it sounds
I've had times where like maybe we're not even soon, but we're in a call and I can't understand too well. It's not like you haven't really moved from like your seat. Your just voice has gotten so low, like so like laid back with like I don't I'm like if we were streaming right now, sometimes when we're streaming I'll put a bit of a fire under you like speak up.
Yeah.
Well, at least when you're streaming, normally you crank the gain up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very least, if you do end up talking lower, it
It's
still comes
yeah.
through. Then we play Peak and you're screaming at. That was funny when we that was fun on the Peak. Well, no, that wasn't on stream, but when he first joined us on Peak, and all you just come like, "Hi guys."
I didn't mean for that to be the intent. I just think I had my gain up way too high, and then I was
Yeah,
already like,
it was so funny
I'm
though.
glad it was funny. I wish someone recorded it.
Was I? No, I was just, because I went streaming afterwards. Because I think
Yeah.
you were the one who suggested like we should stream this, and I was like, well, we can push off Bonanza, I guess.
It's okay. Well, it gave you time to like really dial into the finale.
Well, no, honestly, I had less time for the finale that night than I would have
It's
that.
fine.
Well,
It's fine.
okay, I'm not going to dwell
We
on that.
we cut the fat of Joey's stream preemptively.
Even though that was a 4-hour stream. Oh man, that was one thing. So something I wanted to do going to season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And something we did kind of the beginning, but kind of for like the like a kind of a bit more of like a little opening topic that kind of eases us in. And we've done it some episodes, other ones we haven't. Um, but mainly of like there's like a check-in
Mm-hmm.
of like my initial idea, because we do a lot of games, so it's like like what games we played recently.
Mm-hmm. But that's so overdone.
That's maybe overdone, but like sometimes
I would like to have something because I would say that that's like it's a podcast trope, but it's a good one because it gives you a bit more of an identity. And we tried that. We did not have it figured out. At least I didn't. I tried it a lot, but it didn't really work out. But I like that because um one podcast that we both listen to, I don't know how frequently you do lately, but Shut Up, I'm Talking Tommy in it,
Oh,
and Jack
I've been out of
Manifold's
touch on that
podcast.
one a long time.
I've been a little out of touch too, but I still like their instead of like, oh, what's your favorite moment of the week, they do what's your worst moment of the week.
Yeah.
And it's like that's fun because it's quirky and weird, but
Mhm.
it's also like it's kind of like a de-stressor. Like you can talk about it, you can
Yeah.
get things off your chest, and then like it's done and like move on for the most part. Sometimes they keep things.
Yeah.
But like something like that, but still fits a line with like us. Like I think my original idea was like, what's your save moment of the week? Which is kind of like a weird concept, but it was more just like, what's a moment in this week where it felt like would be like in a video game, like a checkpoint? So like, oh, you had a bonfire and you were like enjoying a bonfire with friends, like that would be a save point in a video game. And so like just having a week, but that's like so out there already.
That, and it feels very situational. Like if I just had a normal week of like going to work and playing games, I'm like I don't know what I would say.
Yeah. And I mean there is some level of like, oh, maybe you get creative where it's like, oh, the moment I opened my fridge and saw that I was out of milk, that was a save point for me.
Yeah.
But it's also not as interesting.
I know my thought, like if I was gonna do that for this last week, I'd be like, oh, like when I beat Donkey Kong Bonanza, because like you did like a big achievement, you would save after that.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, what we don't make it a big of point, but we kind of still do on occasion opening topics.
Yeah, we'll talk about like things that we have.
A lot of times I feel like it's spoiled on by me because a lot of times I'm like, I just want to talk about this random thing for like not a whole episode.
Well, that's just how our conversations in general go. Because
Yeah.
like the other day, you called me wanting to talk about Save State and where we made the date for this.
Yeah.
And what did you talk about? You talked about
we talked about something I wanted to talk about on camera.
Oh shoot, I don't even remember what it was. Oh, I remember what it was now. But yes, we talked about
personal life. We'll leave it at that.
I would say it's more just like a management problem.
Management, yeah. But
that was an interesting conversation, but it had nothing to do with what we were talking about. Now I remember why I didn't remember. My brain was saving me from.
Yeah, no, that was one of those things where it was. I talked about calling you earlier that day. Then the thing happened,
and you were venting.
And then it was like I need to get it out my mind because I could not focus on anything else. And then I was in a bad mood the rest of that day.
Yeah, I felt bad.
I was,
but we also hung out later.
Then we hung out that night. Yeah, what's that night?
And then that was better.
Yeah, I felt a bit better. I was still a bit in like a loopy mindset, but also have had this in general a lot going on.
Dude, it happens.
Yeah. I'm such a professional. So I feel whenever like I feel like in terms of like streaming, I do really good about not being on my phone.
Hmm.
But sometimes I have like someone text me and they need an immediate response. Like I literally just send a thumbs up to that one
Hmm.
because like I want to focus on this, but I do feel bad because I feel like I've even spent like 1 second doing something that's not podcast related.
I love the first episode because there was like a solid like 10 seconds where we are just staring at our phones. No, nothing. Just like literally the same spot. We're just like, and it's not like the
Well,
opening
we
intro.
were both looking at the topics.
Yes, we
That was
were.
the thing.
Because we were talking about a topic, and it was fine. But I feel like we've gotten a lot better at that. Because like where you'll look at
Yeah.
your phone, I'll be like, okay, I'll try to keep the conversation, and then I
Mhm.
feel like hopefully you kind of catch that to where if
Yeah.
you like, we've found ways to hit the ball back to each other, but sometimes it does drop.
Yeah. Speaking of, I gotta take a phone call.
But no, I mean, and I feel like a lot of those things, like having our little like quirks that make our podcast special,
Yeah.
like I feel like those things, a lot of them come with time.
Mhm.
I will say like an opening like funny bit isn't like exclusive to us, but I like the tone of ours that we have. I love the one with Lucas where we like walk in and he's like doing his "Hey guys, Captain Brownie's here," and then we come in and we just like start beating the crap out of him.
Well, the funny thing was my idea with that one. Again, I looked back at that note because I was like, did I not think right now? I thought I said the original one was we were going to kick him out. That's what I
Yeah.
said, and then it was just in the moment we completely changed it. So I was thrown a little off guard, and you can see for like a split second you go in and I don't, and not, then I just follow in with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because originally we were just going to kick him off the couch, and
Mm.
then we sat down. But all I told you, I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna kick him out. He's gonna be in here. We walk in, we kick him out."
See, I don't even remember that. I
Yeah,
just thought we were gonna yell at him, but I think that goes to show why it was
but
like.
we
But it was
it's just
funny.
that yes and mentality. You just go with it.
Yeah.
Like when we talk about like streaming, like we both stream and whatnot. I think a lot of it's that yes and mentality. We would talk about this with this more of the charity events because
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of folks there that don't have much of an online presence.
Well, they don't stream like every other week like we do.
Yeah, or every other day like I do.
Yeah.
um,
I'm factoring in my stream, which I haven't streamed
yeah.
myself in like 3 months. I've streamed with you, but like by myself,
Yeah,
it's been a hot minute.
that's true. We've started to pull the others kind of in the streaming field because like we did the
Hmm.
peak stream, which
And that was great.
that was good.
One of our good friends, Clark, that was his first appearance,
I
and
think
he did great.
I when he was like, "Yeah, I'm down," I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." But we all did that. What was I getting at with the streaming thing?
Oh yes,
Oh,
and
I very much have the mentality of just like
roll with it.
roll with it, like almost no matter what, unless someone's like those obviously sort of more
Oh
severe
yeah.
situations, but like in general, you just go with it. But it's a different perspective from someone who doesn't.
Hmm.
And it's really interesting to like hear those perspectives. Like I said, during the charity events, that thing we were saying like it's different when you're streaming by yourself
Oh yeah.
compared to when you're streaming with a group of 6 people. Because then you have all these different needs that need to be met. Um, and that was something with like the last charity event we didn't we never had anyone like completely crash out or anything. It was nothing of that extent, and no, it was never no ill feelings or anything that came out of it. But it's something we kind of
At
all
least none
agree.
that haven't been resolved.
Yeah, like yeah. But in terms of just how that the last one went,
Hmm.
it was the one thing we kind of realized, like kind of like we were all at we all had to be on 100% of the time, all the whole weekend.
Yeah, for
Well,
3 days straight.
3 days straight for a much larger event than we typically do.
Hmm.
And it's one of those things, we were like, dang, like, and even like for me, I didn't like fully hit me until the end of the event where I was like, oh, you know, but that mentality of
Just going with it.
going with it,
It
that yes and
works to a degree,
mentality.
but sometimes I think going with that, the stream was like learning the limitations of yes and of like just going and going. Like sometimes you gotta,
Can't do it for 72 hours.
yeah, you have to step back and be like, okay, we need to fix this. Like even if it means like
Yeah.
stopping something, as much as that's a loss of energy, it is almost as much a gain of energy with how much it helps to just like take a moment and like think about something.
Hmm. Well, we've had that. We've had. I can't think of any specific times. So I know we've had one or two times during the podcast we had to like pause it or stop it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we continued. We had the time the fire alarm went off. Wasn't that the Sonic tier list?
I can't. I feel like that was.
I remember the computer being wide in front of me. I think
I don't. That wasn't the tier list. That was either game.
Mm.
That was Gaming Would You Rather's 2, I believe.
Okay.
Because I remember, it just shows the dichotomy of our viewers. I guess we have Mike, who is like he commented, love the ending with the freaking fire thing, and
Yeah.
Denmark did a thing and it was great. And then we have Breakfast. You know Breakfast.
Yeah.
And Breakfast was like, I was listening to this while doing something else, and then the fire alarm scared me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And
I won't lie, that was something I was expecting Denmark to pretty much like cut out.
Mhm.
I didn't even because again that shows I really just didn't watch that at all.
Well, I thought I watched it, and I didn't remember there being like a siren in the episode, but I can't remember. Maybe he was because he did add like an explosion, and that could have been a little.
The alarm,
unexpected.
I know at least in the recording, the alarm went off for a little bit, and I caught it in the back of my head, but I was like, yeah, it's fine. And eventually, I was like, okay, that's definitely the fire alarm. So it went off for a good minute. But I don't know how long it went in the actual episode.
Such a weird happening.
Yeah, and I had a god.
That's one of those live stream moments, because like
yeah. See, if it was a live stream moment, I would have just been like, be right back.
Well, like one of those moments where it's like you only catch when you're recording something
live. Yeah,
like you have an oven that shatters just because they do that sometimes, apparently.
Yeah, no, that was gosh, and then afterwards, I was so irritated the rest of that day. Didn't we go out after that?
I want to say we did, but I can't.
I don't think we weren't planning to go out, but I remember I was in such a horrible.
I think we
mood
just got
after that.
food, and then we were like,
I think we just got food, came back, and like that was, and you helped me clean up because I was like, I just want to be out of the house right now. So
yeah,
I hate like loud, especially like high pitched noises, and having to constantly. It was upstairs.
Yeah, we were figuring out where it was coming from to begin with.
Well, I knew. Okay, I was like, we only have two smoke alarms in that house, so I'm like, okay, I know it's that one because it was the other one. The other one's right outside the door of the game room. But having to make the act of walking upstairs, I was trying to carry a chair up there, and then it just goes wham 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 like fire, fire, wham wham wham.
It was
fire.
very annoying.
And I'm like, I think I grabbed earplugs and went up. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I grabbed my earbuds. I put those in. It's not perfect, but I'm like, that was just. I grabbed it. And I see it every. We got a new one. But every time it's in my office room, and then I just see it, like almost every day when I come home, and I'm just like, I want to break that. But smoke alarms are shockingly expensive. Like $20, not that much.
They're like a thing that's supposed to like do its job no matter what. Like even if you don't replace the batteries, like it's sometimes they have like a little bit of a thing.
Well, then just all the thought I just have is like, okay. So like where what if the smoke been coming from?
Yeah, that's the interesting.
The only
thing
I can
because
think is
there was nothing wrong.
The door
with
was
it.
shut.
Yeah.
And the fan was off. The only thing I could think of is like there just wasn't enough ventilation going on in that room.
Yeah, like carbon monoxide buildup, but like
we
have to do a lot to get a like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's weird. But it was also saying fire. Normally it does that when it's like detects smoke because that has a different side when it's carbon monoxide. So say like oxygen low or something.
Yeah,
I've had it happen too. It's happened on that one upstairs once, and you open the door, it's fine. We've also had it before that door shut for like a day or two. There's no problem. But
technology's weird.
It's weird. Getting kind of off topic, but no.
It's all in the. They know. They know at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, if you're watching this, you know what you signed up for.
Yeah. Well, it's your fourth episode. I always like going to every episode assuming they don't know anything.
No, and that's.
It's not like I explain. I didn't go into the charity events, but I like to explain.
I like
to a little bit.
I think there's benefits to both. I like having it to where it's like you're not being super esoteric and no one can understand, but also like throwing the people who do watch consistently a bone.
I think for me that's why when I bought the charity event earlier and I was like, okay, let me like strike a balance, like explain we do this charity event twice a year. And I said like for the AFSP, and I just cut off there and made this topic. So that's all you need to know for the conversation. But if you obviously watch my channel, you know a lot more about it. You get the whole vibe. But when we other stuff,
it's so funny recording in this room after doing the podcast for how long we have.
Yeah. No, so we've been we've talked about this. In terms of this podcast, we've been actively working on the podcast since December
Mm-hmm.
of I'll say of 2024. Um, that's where we kind of first started like proper production. We started getting the music worked on,
Mm-hmm.
work on the logo. So many iterations of the logo. Um, I had and I did you ever try your hand at making a logo, or was I the only one who did?
I showed you one and you were like, "This is bad," and then you made one that was like almost the exact same
Exact same
thing, and I
thing,
was like,
Joey.
"All right." It
I,
was one of those moments where you weren't thrilled on the floppy disk idea to begin with, so I
yeah,
gave you that, and then when you made one, I was like, "Okay, this is him making something that he's happy with," and I wanted to do the floppy disk anyway, so it was like
yeah.
it worked out, but it
But
was kind of
I
funny.
made. I'm pretty sure I can't remember what number this one is. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around 18.
Oh wow.
When I name my so when I name my files, so like my Minecraft thumbnails,
Hmm.
it's Minecraft Thumb 2,
Yeah.
Minecraft Thumb 3. Like that one's now like 50 something. 'Cause I've done so many. But for the I do the same thing when I'm making like logos. Like okay, like save rough draft 1, save rough draft 2, and a lot of them was like I'll make a design, do 2 or 3 things of colors,
Hmm.
um, but a lot of it was like little changes. But there
Yeah.
was, at one point we had the colors inverted, but
Hmm.
eventually we landed okay. We definitely want less yellow,
Oh
more
well,
purple.
and you did well, I just wasn't as big of a fan as the vibrant colors because
Hmm.
I felt like something a bit more muted was better,
I
but
had to
still,
change
like
the color, but like that was the hard thing because like I feel like yellow looks so bad when it's muted.
that
So
is
I just like
fair,
that balance of like muting it,
but
but
not.
it still shine out. But that's why I made that like the paper
Hmm.
and the outline. So okay, that made the yellow work better in smaller doses. Where it was where the purple is in the logo, it's too much.
Well,
And
and I liked it too because that's how floppy disks look. Like they're like blue, but like they have a
yeah,
blue outer layer and then like a white layer in the middle. So it was like
mm,
there was a lot of thought put into that
that
thumbnail.
I
But then you
made.
have the yellow and purple of like us.
Well, what I end up doing eventually. So originally I was using like images offline and stuff, and going from there. Eventually, I just
Well, you
handmade
made that
a
one from the
floppy
ground
disk
up, yeah,
because
which
that's
I think is the best move.
and I'm real because I'm like it's such a simple shape. Why don't I? And then we didn't have all like the little detailed lines and stuff because
Hmm.
you don't have like the little whipples that floppy disk have on the bottom middle area in the logo, and you don't have a lot of that extra detail. It's a very
Yeah,
much simplified, like what Google Docs has right now. Well,
yeah,
I don't know if Google Docs even has floppy disk. I know Word still does. I don't know if Google Docs does. I think they just have a save bubble.
yeah.
Um,
I honestly can't remember at this point,
I
but
can't remember either, but because it auto saves.
hmm.
But anyhow, no, making the logo that was one, and yeah, I hated the floppy disk thing. Even when we landed on the final logo, I was like, I'm okay with this, and I still didn't like it. Now I've just like accepted that's what the logo is.
I like it. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing something in the future, but I think for starting off, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of those things for me. I'm like, we'll probably keep the floppy disk like iconography there. That's
Yeah,
not how you pronounce the word, but y'all know what I mean.
iconography.
Yeah, that one.
Hmm.
But similarly, again, talk about like my channel, the Joe64 logo. It's always been big block of yellow,
Yeah,
and
it's gone through so many. You need to make like a short or something going through
that
like
would be a fun little
the
one.
my logo because like I don't think any current viewers know about the blue water one.
They do. Because not this last anniversary stream, but
I know you've shown them off, but
the
like
6th year I sat down and we went because that
that's still
we
like
literally went through my file explorer for celebrating 6 years of the channel.
yeah. That
Grant,
is
I
good.
made a folder that like filtered
Hmm.
stuff,
It
so
wasn't
like
just
'cause I do
everything.
have that's also my personal computer, but
Mhm.
it was pretty much, and we ran the files I didn't even realize were there. But I really yeah the original logo that was like the blue glitter of the red text, and then that was a weird thing with my channel. We went from mainly blue with yellow accents, and then it slowly transformed to
To
mainly
yellow with
yellow
blue
with
accents.
blue accents.
Hmm.
No, my channel color is still blue because I've set it the yellow and it looks terrible.
Hmm.
It's kind of the thing like the Safe State podcast. Like if
Yeah,
the main color is yellow, it's too much. Especially my channel color, it's a much. It's when you think of yellow.
I
Where
think yellow can be done well. It's just it's very hard to do
yeah.
well, and it's not
Well,
something you easily
even
get.
with the Safe State logo, I had to kind of compromise, and I went with more of a gold
Hmm.
than a than on my channel, which is like when you think about yellow, that yellow.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, this no matter that was the biggest thing. When I kept sending you and other people, they're like, the yellow's too. The yellow doesn't look right. And I'm like, well, it needs to be some kind of yellow. And then if
Mm-hmm.
I made it too like dark, then it looked like brown and like gross
Mm-hmm.
and orange. I'm like, I don't want orange. One point I tried doing it blue, and blue and purple are just too similar. 'Cause blue makes purple.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was a process making that logo, but no, and I'm happy. Oddly enough, I took some inspiration from my current logo because it has the little diamond lines.
I was gonna say I like the lines you did, like the because it made for a good animation
Hmm.
with the
Oh
in the
yeah,
intro where the lines go in. I want to redo that because I've learned so much, like a better way to do that now, and it's way too quick. I want to give it a little bit more time to like go in without making
yeah.
it too slow. Like I'm happy with how that thing turned out, but I definitely want to update it, which I
Yeah.
will soon. But no,
Mhm.
going back with just updating things, I think we've talked briefly about like the camera and like I don't know if we talked about the mics, but we have made good on our promise to slowly improve the
The
podcast.
equipment,
Yes.
because we've gone through 3 cameras, um, and I think we're going to be using this one for a while. I don't have any plans of buying a new. I wouldn't mind buying like an actual camera one day,
Hmm.
but that's
It's
further.
an investment.
That's further down the road for me personally.
Hmm.
Um, did we always have the lav mics?
No, for the first 3 episodes, we got them very
I
quickly.
think we episode 4 we had them.
Yes, we did for 4, but
It was
for
very early on.
first 3, that table that's there that they can't see was here, and we
That's
had the
why the
microphone.
mic was in frame,
Yes.
but the table wasn't. It was just the mic.
Hmm.
Um, that's why I didn't bring my arm. We just had it on
It was interesting.
the tripod. That's why.
It was a setup. It wasn't a bad setup for our first
Yeah.
go around, but like I think I said to you before, it's like, man, this is already a lot better than the first time. That's why
Yeah.
it's just so funny being back in this position, but
Mm-hmm.
like knowing more
Like
than
even
when you
just in here, the
started.
lighting's better than well, it was a lot darker last time.
Well, it helps too that you when you do this consistently enough, like you make a set, like, and even the set lighting on this is not great in general when you look at like fancy set lighting, but we've put in
Yeah.
more thought because like the way the lights are arranged, there's like a backlight and then there's like a front light.
Yeah.
So it like it evens the lighting of the room better. Whereas when we started this, it was only one light and it looked rough. But I was like, oh, let me swap around the bulbs, and then I fixed it. It was a lot
Yeah.
better than what it was.
I would like to get a proper lighting setup at some point for my streaming and whatnot, but and it's also one of those things where I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't do a lot of stuff on camera. It's
One
just
day
the
we'll get a
webcam.
studio.
One day we'll get. Honestly, a room. The game room's bigger than this we're in now, but you can kind of see about.
What do you imagine our a studio would look like? Are we just gonna have two halves of a room? One is yellow, one is purple, and then we have like you're sitting on the purple couch and I'm sitting on the yellow couch, but I'm on the purple side.
I'm pretty sure the room about this size,
Yeah.
and it's literally just like we're both on one wall.
Honestly, I would love like a big space, but a corner, because I feel like corners are great.
Yeah,
I like
but
corners.
more than likely, if we had a specific place for the podcast, it would probably be in a pre-existing like place. Like if I
Hmm.
when I eventually get a new place, I plan to have a
Like have a recording room.
I plan to have a recording room, and like it could be like this corner is for the podcast,
Hmm.
that corner is for like streaming.
Hmm.
You know, something as simple as that. And that room would be all like stuff on wheels, so I can rotate and move stuff around. I don't know if I would paint the wall colors, sorts of
No, I
things.
don't think. I think purple and yellow sides of the room would be crazy. I would. I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind like having like either like a green screen spot
Well,
or like an actual logo in the
we
back.
can get an actual logo, and we can make it where it could be hung up, or it could be taken down.
But going off of that, another podcast I like, I don't think you're familiar with them, but they're the Super Mega Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They're very themed to like analog or like early technology stuff. So like they
Yeah.
have like an old Apple Macintosh that has their logo on it, like, and they have like old like 80s style tables, and like they have hand mics that have the logo on it. Like they're very like stylized in their
Yeah.
backgrounds and stuff. And so I'd love to have like a shelf to where one day when we have like the $1 million camera setup, when we don't use the the Switch 2 camera anymore. I'd love to have it on a shelf.
But
in
what
the
if I want to
background.
use it for Mario Party?
Well, at that point, we probably wouldn't even need to use it anymore. But like, just
Yeah.
small things in our past,
No,
just for fun, like.
We put the where do I put the lav mic case?
And honestly, something that in the future I want to do for this channel. I know you're very much like you want to keep just the podcast stuff on this channel, but you wouldn't be opposed to doing other stuff. Like, say like we went on like a trip, like I don't know, like LA or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it would be really fun to like if it's just an us two trip, which granted the Philadelphia one was just us two, but like making a vlog or just like
it was something pertaining to the podcast.
Yeah.
Like if we say we go to Too Many Games next year, but we did a panel there for the podcast.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, yeah, we could do a vlog / upload that panel kind of video. But I'm very much the mindset of just like it needs to be pertaining to the podcast.
That's
if it's
fair.
something that like say like we went to like I don't know, something that would never happen. Like we went to the Game Awards this year, right? But that's very much in tune of like, okay, I've live streamed the Game Awards on my channel.
Yeah.
I'm a co-streamer. That's something that's more in tune of like my channel. And like if you went with me, of course, also you get put stuff on your channel. I want to restrict you.
Yeah.
But that's something I'm like, well, that really doesn't have anything to do with the podcast, unless we did like I'm sure we'd probably do a podcast episode talking about
if we were there, yeah, it probably.
But that would probably be more of like, oh, like we went to a Force Award show,
I guess my mindset with like making content that's not the podcast on this channel, I get where you're going with like it's like you want it to be more specific, but my thought is like, and we were talking about this earlier, in the week, like we're the personalities of this channel, right? And so that's what people come back for the end of the day. Like they come back because they like to see us interacting off of each other. So in my head, when I say, oh, we should make like other videos or like do a vlog, like I wouldn't be opposed to like us doing like a funny little sketch, maybe related to like, okay, say we're gonna do merch and like we want to make a funny merch video. Like I would get to where like the something two of us would record something small, but also like again, I think it would definitely want to save it for other things, but like say we go although I guess this is also pertaining to the podcast, but like I've had a thought of like what if we went to like where Denmark lives and like we make a vlog of just like us getting on like a plane and like finding him and then doing like shenanigans and then like have an episode with him like in person.
Yeah, that's what I almost feel like we did an episode with Denmark, kind of like either at the beginning or at the end, like the last 5 minutes, put that in with that episode.
That would be fair.
I'm picturing of that's kind of what I'm picturing. But like just like, but yeah, something like that. I wouldn't be like opposed to, or also upload as a separate video. I wouldn't be too opposed to, but it's very much of like my mind says, okay, they subscribe people for a podcast, and like I wouldn't want to like, oh, we're playing Peak for 2 hours. Not that's what you suggested.
Oh yeah, no.
But like, this company more, I guess, for the departure. Like, we talked about at one point maybe doing gaming content and like playing video games,
like side stuff. But it's like,
but I don't. Even if we did something like It Takes Two, I would rather just do that on our separate channels. Just because that's more what that audience expects for us playing video games. More like talking about YouTube live gaming.
And going on with that, I feel like this conversation we've just had is like very reflective of another aspect that we've kind of learned from doing this is like we definitely have two different brains in terms of content. I think that shows in like the conversation we had the other day of like you prefer me to make thumbnails now because like they just generally do better, but I prefer you to do the analytics side because like that's something that I'm not as well versed in. You've had more experience.
Like, I mean this in like I don't mean this with any ill will. You pretty much you throw up a title and you
I just put it out
go
there.
live. I don't even know if you do a description.
Oh, I do. I do a very basic description.
Yeah, but you don't put like the links and the tags and the. Do you do tags at all?
No, because they don't work.
But I will say something. I will say you don't.
I do hashtags because they help like get
Yeah, the
into an
hash.
algorithm,
Yeah,
but like tags, no.
the
I
hashtags
don't
and the
mess with
tags, you
those.
don't. They marginally help,
Mm-hmm.
but I still want to say, especially when you're starting out, I'm like, for me, like I'll be honest, I use a tag generator. I don't come up with them myself.
Mm-hmm.
I will then from there curate them, and I'll delete some, add some.
Yeah,
The hashtags, though, those especially if you do shorts,
those are
those
big.
are very big.
Yeah,
And also,
but I'm a lot
yeah,
more of a just like, again, if you look at my channel, there are vastly different videos with
mm,
some of an underlying theme, but like I'm much more of a person like unless I'm doing something like Save State where this is like this identity,
mm.
I, for my channel, I'm just gonna throw up what I
But
want to
it's just
make.
it's your like you said, it's your channel. This
Yeah,
is very much you. You're not really trying. You're not trying to grow a brand per se.
not really. I mean, in the
Um,
sense of like I want people to watch my videos because I put a lot of effort into them and I
yeah,
like them, but also I make them for me first.
yeah,
So it's like even if my video essay that I spent a lot of time in and it only got 19 views and I'm not salty at all because I thought it would do a little bit better.
yeah.
Like say something like that happens. Like it's fine because I made it for me at
But
the
you
end
just
of
want to be. You just want people to see it. You're not like with Safe State. We'll kind of go into this more. The one obviously we want people to see, but we'll send this up more as a brand.
it. Yeah, we want a little
Um,
bit more something out of it, you know.
yeah, yeah. Anyhow, that brings me into our next topic. We got a big
We
announcement.
are announcing our Patreon.
Patreon,
$12 a month.
$20. Oh, ours was 20.
What's the
Okay,
max you can do for Patreon per month?
I don't. Well, I'm sure there is a max, but I've seen some really high ones.
Jesus.
We want to go on back to the people who made Sonic Omens. I know they had like a $300 tier.
Jeez.
Um, but no, in actuality here, so something we've talked about this for a while, and it will be up. When this episode goes live, we're doing a Discord server
Yes.
between kind of for remind me here because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I feel like you know the right thing better than I do. What is the Discord server about?
Oh, well, it's kind of
We've talked
more
about different ideas.
so it's ultimately like it is a place for the crossbleed between both of our audiences
Okay, yeah,
because like I have a slightly different audience, Joey has a very different audience, but ideally like we kind of meet in the middle with Save State because it's like two halves of a personality, but also like we want to encourage the crossbleed between like your audience, my audience, and make people who just stick to Save State. So like the thought behind that is like if I make a video, the people who are in Joey's more realm or just in the Safe State realm, they can see it and try it. Like
yeah,
obviously like people like what they like. Like they're either going to stick with what they like or they're like going to try something else. And if they don't like, that's fine, but I think it's also like putting it out there because like obviously like having three different channels, like whoever the algorithm pushes it out to will be very different,
mm-hmm.
especially considering what they look at, but having like a Discord to where everyone can interact
Yeah.
with and like we can put out messages, I think is gonna really
Mm-hmm. It's a place for our pretty much our core audience between my channel, his channel, and Safe State.
yeah.
They kind of interact, like I said, crossbleed.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, everyone who watches Safe State, not everyone, of course, but a lot of the people we see, at least in the comments and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
are people who I've seen in my live stream chat. I'm sure you've seen in your live stream chat.
Yep.
So kind of given that core audience as we continue to grow and expand the podcast, kind of give a home base
Mm-hmm.
for all of them to come together. And like I said, we'll obviously the main part would be posting like, hey, there's a new episode. Hey, maybe we'll give some updates. Kind of similar to a Patreon, but this is free to join.
Yeah,
The link will
no,
be in the description. But kind of similar to like we hear people talk about with Patreon, like, hey, we're going to give updates about stuff. Maybe we'll even
well, like say what happened there, like with our break that we didn't intend on taking, but we decided on. Instead of putting out a community tab post that maybe three people will see, two of us being included
yeah.
in that three, we can have a Discord which the people who are in the Discord will like
It's the people who care
care
about
a little bit more than the average viewer. So
yeah.
the people who we're trying to get the message out to will get it
And
better.
they'll guarantee they get it with like the YouTube algorithm. They might
May
not
get it,
get
might
it
not get. Yeah,
unless they're like actively looking on the channel page.
yes.
So that's kind of more the idea of it. And again, kind of get some cross promotion, and then maybe even something in the future. We'll start doing some stuff like maybe like, hey, we have 2 or 3 ideas for a podcast episode. we could do a poll in the Discord, like, hey, what are y'all thinking for the next episode? Then
Oh
really
yeah.
hear back from the core audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's more what I'm thinking, because there's a difference between hearing back from your core audience and hearing back just from like a YouTube poll that might just reach out to, it might reach out to a ton of people, but only 5 of those people could actually be watching the podcasts, who are dedicated to it.
Well, even I've seen episodes of podcasts where it's like kind of a reading viewer submissions thing where it's like it's more specific, like I don't know, like hearing arguments for I don't know, uh the best Nintendo game. Let's just put
Yeah.
that. And we can have people like write their argument in the like in a special channel,
Yeah.
and then we can in during the episode reference that. So it's like ultimately it's a goal to like make us talking and interacting with the audience to a more direct level easier, but also
Mhm.
like um everyone can benefit because they can actually see stuff, they can see other stuff that we do outside of safe state, but yeah, and everyone can mingle.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong happens when people mingle.
No, not at all. But no, that's pretty much it. We just want to have that space. It's something to talk about for a while. We're gonna get going and whatnot. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Um, but no, yeah. I guess we've kind of touched upon. So we've kind of bounced between all sorts of topics
Mm-hmm.
here now for the first kind of half or so of the episode. Have a long sense of going. Um, I guess looking a bit more into um my brain completely stopped
The
there.
future of the podcast.
That wasn't what I was going to say,
Oh, okay.
but we can roll into that if we want to. um, okay, this is going to get cutted out. That's pretty much everything with the Discord. And going forward in the future, obviously, we want to keep pushing that. We kind of want to keep building that bridge
Mm-hmm.
between communities, and obviously the community will foster in here on Safe State.
Yeah.
And just looking forward at kind of our plans for what we're going to call season 2. Obviously, we touched on it a little bit about like want to do a week to week schedule, like truly try to stick to that week to week schedule, um stuff like that. But one of the main things for me is just kind of really streamlining that production line
Mm-hmm.
and going forward. It's okay, this is that, and it goes back to this. We want to get the episodes out every week.
Well, even so, like talking about we had a conversation a few months ago about like, okay, we've done like we hadn't done 12 episodes yet, but we had like done a good amount of episodes, and we
Mm-hmm.
kind of had an idea of, all right, what do we want to kind of change, what do we want to streamline more, as you're saying. And something we talked about was kind of like having a style guide for like episodes, kind of more to the benefit of like um mostly Denmark, but also like say for whatever reason I need to upload the episode and I need to put in the tags, like you can have in there like the exact tag generation you use, like the typical
Yeah.
thing you do, but also like for Denmark, because for the longest time I pointed this out to you when we had that conversation with the intro, there is a cut right after when the logo comes on where the end of that should be the outro of the episode, but Denmark doesn't know that because we never explained it to him. And
Did we explain it to him?
no, I don't think we did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We've
talked about
we've
this.
You know this. You know this. I know you. Yes, you know this. Me and John and you had this conversation saying, "Oh yeah, at the end do a thing where it like peters off." We've had this conversation. I just don't think you care because you don't want to do an outro.
I probably just don't remember. Saying don't care makes me feel like I don't. Well, I feel like I don't care.
It's more just like
honestly though. There was one episode. I can't remember what episode I did. There was one episode I was when we put the intro in,
mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure I just like cut a little bit at the start, a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
But I think I just saw whenever it went to black, and I cut all the way up to when it went to black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I actually like looked through the whole thing. So I'm like, oh, that intro is fine.
Well, and the reason why I haven't brought it up, and it was never a big deal.
Yeah.
Like it was more just like that was the intention. It was never like carried through, and it was like it was cool. It wasn't a big deal, but like I remember when we initially had that conversation. That's when we were like, yeah, this is something to where it's like getting on the same page with everyone is that's why it's an important thing to do. Just so like
yeah,
if we have an intention everyone knows that intention. So like when we make an episode, same thing, like say when you make a thumbnail, like something that I do always at the end is I put the tiny save state logo in the corner just as kind of like my little watermark for the episode thumbnails.
I've noticed
And
that.
I think you've done that too, like after I did it the first time, or like someone started that. I can't remember if it was you or me, but that's what I do every time. So like that would also go under like, oh, when you make a thumbnail, just put that in the corner just so it like fits with the rest of them. Or
Yeah.
like the episode naming scheme to where we have name of the episode save state podcast, or like save state podcast name of the episode. I can't remember what it is, but
did you edit episode 9?
which one was that?
Would you rather?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Oh, did I edit that?
Yes.
I think I did, because that has, I know one of the episodes
that
has
happened
the
to be
correct
the one
ending.
that I clicked on to check
Yes.
the intro.
I'm pretty
and
sure
I'm like,
I
well, that
did.
one's right. No, because I want to see what you're talking about, even though I know you've talked to me about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it here. Oh, because
we can put it up here for the viewing audience too.
Yeah. Put the intro up.
You know where to find it, Denmark. If you don't, you're fired. That's a joke. Just in case.
So
don't worry.
Oh, so when it splits away, that's supposed to be the outro?
Yes.
So I thought that was just the end of the intro.
No.
It's like,
because when it comes together, right after it fades to black, and it's like save state logo is there, the things come in,
and then
fade to black.
You did a swipe.
Yes.
Oh, see, yeah, because I saw like go like,
Then you cut that, put the end at the end, and then when they go out, that's when the episode ends.
I was thinking like generic YouTuber outro of like the two like recommended video boxes and the channel icon in the middle.
That's supposed to be what it is, because that's the idea of the ending. You put the recommended videos there, and then as it goes out, that's like the last thing you see, then the video ends. That's the intention.
That's why I was like, I don't remember seeing like a specific outro section of that video.
Yeah,
because it's kind of
it
kind of flows together.
Yeah, I think that is an issue because it does flow very quickly, and I think that's an editing issue on me because like I did that very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there was an intent, and it was like not well communicated. So it's like learning from that and being like, okay, if we're going to do something like this, communicate it and like make sure everyone knows.
So, well, first of all, I didn't realize you have 54 subscribers on your channel.
That's I do.
Lot. Second of all, why is it Microsoft's Clippy?
That's a very long conversation. I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
Basically, it's a protest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's a very long conversation.
Like, God, I just haven't looked down. I swiped out. I was like, why do we have?
It's also been like that for a few days.
Well, I don't look at your channel that
well,
often.
It's the same on Discord too.
I know that is so tiny. I noticed you changed it, but I can't tell what it is.
Yeah.
But I was like, you also change your icon on Discord semi-regularly.
No, I haven't changed it in years.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen you change it for like a day or two as a joke sometimes.
Nope. I used to do that, but ever since I did the Van Gogh painting, it's been that way for years.
Gotcha. You used to though, so that's why I don't know. You're the type of person I'm like, everyone else I know has to have like the same icon for like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you've had that one for a while. You are wide on that, but you did used to change it a lot. So I was like, that didn't throw me off. But I didn't even look. I just saw like color blobs. It's so tiny.
Yeah.
I would just Clippy on there too. Comment on the comment section below. Why is your profile icon a protest?
This is a real thing.
I know. I'm sure it is. I have no idea what it is.
See, I was waiting for someone to ask me, but I wasn't expecting live on the podcast.
On the Joey64 logo, the reason why there's 8 lines around the block is to show how closed in I feel on the inside. I mean, I should do that in April Fool's Day, like the real reason the Joey64 logo is
the hidden truth behind the Joey64 logo.
No, the real history of that is Denmark was like, yeah, I don't like your corn logo. Here's a better one. I was like, okay.
That's how he got his job.
Eventually, that's how he started getting it. But literally, Denmark did that as like fan art, and then eventually I used it, and then he did this.
We're exposing your story, Denmark. I hope you're happy with it.
I've talked about this on stream multiple times. He's talked about it on stream. And then he made the channel he made during the stream, and then said like you should use it right now for Minecraft or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh sure. I'm like, cool. And then eventually I started using that, and then I was like, hey, he edited a short or two for me. He edited the shorts.
Just did it.
did not tell me was, and it's like, hey, you should upload these, and I was like, okay, sure. And then I was just like, do you just want to work for me? Like, do you want money?
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit. I always told him like, I don't want you doing this thing. You have to, because like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I did not pay him for the logo. I did end up giving him a bit of money for the overlay.
Yeah.
But that was retroactive, like afterwards, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't give him anything because I always told him like, I'm not. I don't want the money
It
for
was
right
a
now.
very sketch arrangement until
Yeah.
you made it more
Yeah. Then with
less
the
sketch.
yeah, in terms of making him a formally knighting him as the editor, I was like, we actually had discussions about payment and whatnot.
Yeah.
But no, sorry. Um, I got
Many
sidetracked by
asides.
Clippy. Um, I haven't seen Microsoft Clippy my boy in like 2 decades.
Thing is, if you know, you know, and that's all I'll say.
That's my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, no, stuff like that. Very much clean stuff up, like the intro,
Yeah,
the apparent outro we have that I'm now learning about for the first time ever. Um, the
it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a lot. Like I said, we've kind of had a lot of time to mess around and toy around with different ideas and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And now, okay, going the second season, we really want to like polish it
Polish.
up.
Mm-hmm. Polish
Um,
and clean. Polish and clean.
yeah, for me, that's at least for me, from my standpoint, it's a lot of like want to get scheduled down, like to get like
The communicative
the
aspect of
communication, episode
making
topics,
episodes.
stuff like that. More like the actual like pipeline, because that's
Mm-hmm.
what I think my strengths are.
Yeah.
Um, but no, we really at this time outside of like a lot of like I guess production stuff, like we want to do more guests,
Yes.
and we don't have a lot of like we have varying episode topics we've talked about, and
I know I've written down a few.
well, I know one thing we want to do is mix in more of a variety of topics. So I think we've had a good variety, but a lot of them do lean more towards the gaming side of things,
Mm-hmm.
which granted what both of us do on YouTube.
We were.
You've done a little, you've strayed from gaming a little bit, but mostly
Yeah. I mean, talking about like the Minecraft movie, it's still gaming
gaming will.
related.
Only
But
thing I can think about is the Walt Disney video you did.
yeah,
I think everything else
that
you've
was.
done is gaming.
Listen, man, that was. I don't think I would make that video nowadays, but like, I'm glad I did because it was an idea in my head, and I did.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I
don't regret it,
we
but
want
it's
to talk
like
about videos that I want to make nowadays. The freaking video I did analyzing the Bob's Burgers movie trailer. What was I thinking in 2022?
I mean, that was just what you did.
I was like, you know what? Like, I have to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. You were also excited about the Bob's Burgers.
It was also a TV show I've never watched up before then. My first exposure to that series was watching the movie.
It's so funny considering how much because like we'll just like hang out and Joey be like, I was watching Bob's Burgers last night, and I was like, nice. What happened? What happened to Bob and his family this time?
What crazy hijinks did the Belters get up to last night?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's to the point I know the program and block by heart. It's great.
It's fun.
7 o'clock's my favorite time of the night because I get to hear the first like the intro of Family Guy, and then by the time the intro ends, I find the next channel I want to watch, or I turn off the TV because a lot of times 7 o'clock. That's why 7 o'clock's when I go live. By the way, legitimately, it's
because Bob's Burgers.
Because of Bob's Burgers, and it's why more recently now they've changed it to where they push the schedule back to where it ends at 6 p.m. now. That's why some of my streams were recently have been like 6:36 because Bob's Burgers is done, and I'm like, well, like I have nothing else to do today.
So if there's a marathon of Bob's Burgers all day, you're not seeing a Joey 64 stream.
When episode 300 comes out later this year, I will not. Well, I'll plan to not schedule stream that day, but I will not be streaming that day because I want to watch. I'm not gonna watch the marathon. I've marathoned the show like twice.
That reminds me of like how the government uses the Waffle House thing. Have you heard of this? So it's a gauge to measure how bad a hurricane is based off of if a Waffle House is open or not. Because like Waffle Houses are insane and they stay open regardless. Yeah. So now we just have a new one of the Bob's Burgers test. If Bob's Burgers is on at a varying time, if it's on at 8, you're not getting a Joey 64 stream until 9. Yeah. Whenever the programming block is done.
Yeah, pretty much. On it, like I don't know. It depends. I also have times where I'm just like I want to stream earlier, and I'm like, I've seen enough of the show to I'm like.
That's so funny though.
No, but in general, yeah, it has shifted my stream schedule.
Yeah.
Especially in the early days when I was forced like really getting into the show. But
Yeah, no.
no, God, that's a thing. Just well, I'm sure we'll have this discussion a year or two from now of like, why did we do that podcast episode? There's gonna be
This,
no, I don't know which one, but there's gonna be an episode we're gonna like from this first batch. I don't. We're gonna look back on like, why did we do
well, it's so funny
that one?
because thinking about that, I originally, when we did the first three, I was not a fan of three.
Road trips.
Yes. And then when it came out, because that was the first thumbnail I did, and it did much better than I expected, I was like, am I just crazy? But I went back and I did watch through that episode, and it was like, I think in the moment after we recorded it, I was like kind of done.
Well, because we did all three all at once.
Yeah, we did back to back, which was crazy. We haven't done that to this day. We've done like two back to back.
I don't think we've even done two back.
Maybe we haven't. I know we've done
We've
like
talked about the idea of doing it a couple times. I don't think we ever have.
yeah, because it's just like I think we tire ourselves out talking for like an hour.
A lot of times,
straight.
though, also when we're doing the podcast, it's like we're doing something else that day.
Yeah.
Like when we no, we didn't record a podcast episode that day. We live streamed, but we've had times where we're going out to see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
We're planning to do something later that day. We have or we're just both have errands that day.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like we don't have time to do, and even like really this, we are in a sense doing two episodes in terms of length.
Yeah.
This is probably the closest we have to that. The Sonic Tier List episode, that recording was like an hour 50, but it got Denmark shortened it down a lot. He cut a lot of the fluff.
You talked about how much you love Sonic a lot, which is understandable because it's the Sonic episode. But
yeah,
I think we know what to expect.
I think that's the most Sonic episode we're gonna have until whenever the next Sonic either movie or game comes out, like big game. Like I don't think we'll have a whole episode talking about Crossworlds. As exciting as it is that Pac-Man's going to be in the game. But you know, like when the Frontier sequel comes out, I'm sure I'm gonna drag you into doing an episode about. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe like the new Pokemon game will come out like the following week.
I feel like we should do something to where it's like person who doesn't care about Frontiers or care as much about Sonic ranks the teasers or something like that. Just like something that throws
the day before the game comes out, we have you watch all of the trailers and teasers and like, what do you think?
I give my IGN review.
Your IGN review.
Like that's all right. There's too much hedgehog.
Too much hedge. His spines aren't
too much
long
hedge,
enough.
not enough hog.
His spines are too short.
His arms are
weird and lanky.
Yeah.
He's not Waluigi. That's not what we would do a podcast on is if we
rating video game characters by their length.
That could be a good April Fool's one. But
I feel like it'd be a good just general one. Dude, Lanky Kong's an S tier.
Lanky Kong is an S tier.
And Waluigi's like close behind him, but like he doesn't have it in the name. Like, come on.
I don't know. Boom Sonic, they really linked him.
Dude, like Slenderman, he's pretty lanky.
I always forget that started as a game, and I don't know why.
The terrible movie.
There was a movie?
Oh, yeah. It was terrible, but yeah.
I didn't know there was a movie. No, but
it came out like it was like
recent-ish.
No, it wasn't recent. It was like it was soon after the game was popular, but like kind of late enough to where no one cared.
Yeah,
but like sooner than you would expect from a company to like make that.
I gotcha.
It's interesting.
Quicker than the Five Nights at Freddy's movie took.
Yeah,
that was
10 years.
A decade. Yeah,
and it didn't make it.
And it did. And
I'm so excited for the second FNAF movie.
No, I was going to see if we got invited to the premiere of like Sonic 4. And like I guess you guys doing a podcast talk about that experience.
Similar podcast live as the movie's playing, just our live reaction.
Gosh, that would there was for an event that was just a bunch of YouTubers, there was a lot of security there. Not like I've been the stuff that's had more security. Not like a ton, but for it being like 40 or so YouTubers, like the door was guarded. You had people, like a few people spotted around. You had like 2 or 3 Paramount execs there, a YouTube exec. And I was just like,
they know when the YouTube pranks go wrong.
Oh yeah, like, I was going to say they saw the Minecraft movie. This was before the Minecraft movie, but still, like they had it on the movie screen first walking in. I think I sent you the photo.
Was
the like big photo thing that was like in big red text, like no filming or like until a certain date. Well, no, we weren't allowed to film Pee-wee, but we're not allowed to talk about it until a certain date and time. But the funny thing is, the time was literally like halfway through the movies one time for us because we were the last group to get to see the movie. Because like LA got to see it like a week in advance, so it was literally like halfway through the movie we could have started talking about spoilers for us because
just go live while halfway through the movie.
But they would have. It was I had my phone out right before the movie doing a short, which was fine. They said we were allowed to do such long as the movie wasn't playing. And then I did have one of like the guys who was there. They were like, "Hey, like." So that's why he reminded me as I was like in the middle of filming a short, and I had to re-record it. So I was like, I'm not gonna post that, but I was like, yeah, I got you. And they weren't rude or anything, but it's still just that thing of like, I'm scared. I like
the red tape there, especially legally, is
no. If I ever got it, I don't know. I don't know if I would make the flight to LA just to see Sonic 4. So if I did get invited to that, that would be sick. That would be like the actual like red carpet.
It'd be interesting.
I get to meet the real Metal Sonic.
Yep. He's so real.
He's real. How? Like, Sonic isn't real, but a robot hedgehog, that's realistic. You see the little
anyway
the Xbox that Elon made? Just put a blue coat of paint on it. There you go. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yep.
No, but it's okay. I'm sure it's like it's an episode of the Safe State podcast, but don't bring up Sonic at least once.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure. I think we've had probably more episodes than I think that I haven't brought it up.
I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty consistent thing, but you know,
honestly,
Sonic tangent that goes on just long enough to where it's awkward.
That's just living with me.
I mean that's
just working with Joey.
It's fine. We're all used to it.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of any of them specific. I will say, top about episodes, I wasn't too happy how they panned out. I didn't really care for the Metacritic episode, the second one.
I like that episode. I feel like it would have been better if we had Mike.
I think that would have been. I feel
because like he covers the rest of like the gaps in our gaming opinions.
That would have been like he does have like 20 years on us, so that helps.
We should do like whenever we get him on, just like correcting our opinions.
I've thought about just doing Metacritic again, but I'm like, I don't know if I just want to do it again. But we do another one in that same vein. We're talking about like this, like the greater gaming sphere. I would like to get him on. At least talk about getting specifically him.
Yeah.
On the podcast. That's enough.
Do you still want to do Mike?
I don't know. I think me and him have talked about it a few times.
Yeah.
But no, I would definitely just in general, going back to talk about doing collabs. Like I don't know how much we talked about it on camera, but like obviously we did Lucas, and I'm sure he'll be back on the show at some point.
Oh yeah.
But before that, like we want to get John on, we want to get Denmark on. I think those are the other two people who've like actively worked on the podcast. Denmark might end up being a digital one if we do that, but
we'll see.
I don't know if we could.
I would love the trip, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I've looked at plane ticket prices. To get him here, not us.
I was gonna say we could get away with getting him here, maybe, but like
I'll put it like this. At least at the time, I don't remember when this was. It does. I don't think it's on the holidays, but the time I was looking at it, it was more expensive to do that
than to go there.
Than to go to LA.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well.
Round trip, both are round trips, but like no.
Sorry, Denmark.
No, it was one of those not by a ton, but enough to I'm just like we would have to like if we did this, it would be like a Patreon goal or something.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't love to do it. But no, like that. Those are, I think John and Denmark are up there. Mike's up there. Mike was one of the first people outside of like, he was one of the first people who learned about the podcast.
I think doing Ken's and Marsh as well. Maybe separate episodes, maybe together. I wouldn't be opposed to either.
Yeah. Knowing how often we do Fall Guys streams nowadays, probably separate scheduling conflicts. Not that it wouldn't be great to have both of them at the same time, but it would be very difficult to play. Also, for those who follow my channel, they know I collab with Ken's and Marsh a lot.
Something I just thought of this, and I want to keep it because I've had this thought before, but I forgot it. An idea that I want to do when we get closer to a charity event is I want to reach out to the FSP and actually ask for a rep to like have on the podcast.
Like I have contact with the web.
Well, we can talk to them. We can do it over the phone or whatever they're comfortable with. But like, kind of ask them. Like, we can still be the podcast, but like, kind of gear it more towards. Okay, we're gonna learn about the FSP in this episode, and maybe talk about a little bit of mental
make
health.
Sure that episode comes out like that Friday. Yeah. That one might be good to do it the week before, towards like.
I was thinking, marketing. And that's something we can talk about more, but I'm putting it here on this public forum just so we remember.
That's a good idea. No, that I used to talk about episode topics we want to do in the future in general.
Let me see if I still
trying to think. List. The other thing I could think is like there's a couple of people I know who do podcasts. Like obviously brought up Mike and Welcome to the Game Room.
Mm-hmm.
Mystic, and he has.
We gotta reach out to Nintendo.
We just
Listen, I feel like after that conversation we had with them, like we could do it.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Let's go. Like I've been a VIP patron for how long?
I don't know about that. That was pretty whack.
But I like to do something with Mystic. And his, I know he has his podcast, Super Watch. Maybe if we ever do it, I think anything Pokemon. He would probably him and Marshall, the two that like would want to get on.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of other people. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. It would be nice to get the funny people on.
Yes.
Speaking of Denmark, that's kind of text message from him. But
I was looking for my ideas. I know I
your ideas list, yeah. I know my ideas are like buried in notes upon
Did
notes.
I add them? I didn't add them. Okay, they're gone.
Yeah, there's some. You'll find them in a note one day, a notepad. But no, just in general, we do.
That being said, we have ideas.
We have a ton of ideas, and a lot of times, though, when it comes to scheduling an episode, we come up with a new idea.
Because we're just like we're not in the mood to talk about that.
Yeah. A lot of times.
What? Huh?
What?
I wasn't calling you out.
I'm confused on what happened here. I'm lost.
I said because we're not in the mood to talk about it, and then I looked at you.
Yeah.
For an uncomfortable amount of time.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. I still am.
I didn't pick up on that. We'll look at each other this whole time. I don't know what you mean.
Well, I was locking eyes with you longer than I typically do because then I look at the camera and then I look at you.
No, like now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, a lot of times.
Which is fine. I would rather. I'm of the mindset I would rather do something we're excited about than.
I'm gonna do this real quick. I wanna. I'm not gonna. Let me not look at that right now. Sorry, Denmark's texting.
Oh yeah, Denmark's
I'm annoying
text.
him right now.
Denmark, how important was that text? Tell us right here, if you remember.
Be fair, it is for a paid joey that I'm having to do for the Joey 64 channel.
I remember what it is now.
Yeah. It'll be up by this point. He's edited my reaction to the Corby Direct, and his thoughts are funny. He was not impressed by the Direct. That's why. So he was like, now I have to watch it a second time.
Oh. Well, yeah, he did his own specific reaction, which I thought was interesting because he's never really done that before.
Yeah. It did really good. I was shocked.
Dude, Denmark is climbing.
He 780 right now after the recorded. Very impressed. No, okay, so I wanted to go through the episode topics and see how many I came up with, how many you came up with.
Oh.
Because I have a bad feeling I know who is going to favor it.
Well.
So episode 1, neither of us, we both just like, this is going back to the first episode because it's why you shouldn't start a podcast. Because it was just us kind of talking like more introductory, so we won't count that one. The best video games of all time. That was my idea.
That was you.
We'll skip the live episodes because those are kind of.
I want to say Road Trips was mine.
Road Trips, I believe, was you, so that's one for you. Sonic tier list. My friend guesses my favorite Sonic games. That was me. Our favorite video games are old. That was me. Because that was the aged games.
Yes.
And then I changed the title because I didn't like that title. Let's see. This episode has no topic. Was not planned, but because of me, because I couldn't. And you threw so many topics at me, and I was just in a crappy mood that day. So that's 4 for me. Hopes and Dreams for the Switch 2.
I mean,
that was sport on by me.
I would say that's
what I feel like both of us would have came to.
Well, I feel like that's more just like the news gave that to us.
Yeah, so
we were just like, yeah,
we could cancel that one out. Was stuff in the Let's Play you?
That was me.
That was you. Okay.
I remember you you were on board, but I did come up with that
Yeah.
episode.
So that's 2 for you. Gaming Would You Rather, that makes
That
3
was
for
me.
you.
Yeah.
I won't count the Lucas guest one 'cause that's kind of we both were just kind of like, yeah, we want to do I guess. And then Too Many Games is again kind of both of us.
Although you had said before we went, you had said, "Oh, we should do an episode
Yeah.
there." So you can kind, but like that was kind of both.
So, like 4 to 3, actually, it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I do have a reputation of like shooting down a lot of ideas because I'm in a crappy mood.
Well, and I appreciate
Whatnot.
that because I feel like a lot of times the ideas that do get shot down, like I can't even remember what they were. I remember one, and it's something I'm just gonna do completely differently because I remember that was a good idea, but like not for the podcast.
Yeah, and I told you that. That
You
one,
remember what it is?
most
Yeah.
ideas, it's not that like I'm against doing them in general. I just didn't want to do them in the moment.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this one on at least on stream and maybe on podcast about doing like a mental health.
Yes,
one.
yes, and that one's not one you've said. Like you've told me no to ideas, or like very kindly told me no.
Yeah,
because you're good at doing.
I know like
You're particular,
I'm
and
very
you know what you
particular,
want.
and I know what's going to work for me and not.
Yeah.
And a lot of your ideas, I'm like, 'cause a lot. I think you have more ideas on the main doc than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of there's been very few times I can think of I told you said no to do an idea.
No.
Period.
It's more just like
There's more than like specific things.
oh, because like we talked about like doing a gaming during COVID one, and you kind of were like, that's not a bad idea on paper, but like you don't have as much.
I
to
don't
go
think I
off
could
of.
carry that conversation. Like unless you could like hard carry that, and maybe that's one we've talked about.
We'll
maybe
see, 20th
trying.
anniversary of COVID.
15 years from now, gosh.
We'll see. We'll see.
But that's just one I just don't have much to add on to be like.
Mm-hmm.
I played Minecraft. I did a lot of YouTube during that time. I don't have to me I feel like it's just be more just I might as well do like what games I played in 2025 or in that case 2020. To me that's kind of vibe I would get. But you told me your perspective a bit more, and you actually had your side sounded interesting. To me, I would just be like I played Minecraft. And then I play Mario Galaxy,
which is very fair.
And then I play Galaxy again, like at least for me, that's why I'm like, yeah, like I don't think I could add much to it, but kind of something like the Switch 2 one, I don't remember that one too well, but I feel that was probably one. If I would go back, I was probably leading the conversation one because I was the one who actually owned it.
But you find ways to work yourself in.
Yeah, that's something. And it's reflected throughout the podcast. We talked about the Switch 2, especially leading up to the Switch 2, because like 2 episodes we did a news segment for whatever reason. That's something that got canned very quickly doing a news segment. But we did
that good. I think that went back to like figuring out our quirk thing and like just having a schedule but not a schedule.
We don't want to do a podcast about gaming news, but we want to talk about it. So like
gaming news gives you flashbacks to Lego Peach.
Lego Peach. I didn't even think about it. Honestly, it's more in general, just like kind of that same sentiment, I guess, of when I did do a news podcast.
It's just hard to like
week to week it can change a lot.
I think if you do general news, you can find something interesting pretty much every week. But it's also like
well, this day and age, definitely.
Yeah, going with that. There's things we don't want to.
Like, I love the Lemonade Stand podcast. They never have a lackage of topics.
Yup. And it's interesting, but
no, we talk about getting my lean up, but it's been interesting and just in general your thoughts change on the Switch 2 over time. That's been, especially after it came out.
I'm definitely
you had your hands on it.
I still think I'm of the mentality that I'm more in the waiting period.
Yeah,
but I told someone the other day, I think when that first exclusive Pokemon game, probably Gen 10, comes out, then it'll be like, all right, time to
pick it up.
Yeah.
Get the bundle and whatnot.
Because, like, when did the Switch come out? 2017, 16?
Early 2017.
Okay, so I picked up mine in...
Late 2019?
Yeah, because I got it Christmas 2019.
Yeah, so about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's... Yeah. No, that's like... We talked... During the Bonanza stream, we talked about a lot, where we just, like... Obviously, me, I had very much a hard drive, like... I know I want to play... Well, even YouTube aside... I knew I wanted Mario Kart. I knew I wanted Donkey Kong. Pretty much the only game I could think that's coming out that I'm like kind of on is Age of Imprisonment. Even
Yeah.
then, I'm pretty stoked for that one too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, yeah, like I'm gonna get a lot out of this. I'm not saying you wouldn't, but you get
It's
enough
a
out
lot
of
more
it.
of an investment when I have a Switch that I can still enjoy and play.
Yeah, and there's no like you really enjoyed Mario Kart and you enjoyed Bonanza, I think, more than you thought you were
Mm-hmm.
going to.
Yeah, it was fun.
But from the surface, I'm like, well, like I know I'm gonna like Mario Kart, and I'll probably pick it when it comes out. Bonanza, you're like, maybe. Um, like Age of Imprisonment, you probably would pick up. Corby Airwires. After that direct, oh my, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And whatnot. I'm trying to think of the other games coming out, but like it's funny because a lot of games you're really stoked for from Nintendo, it's Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven, which are both Switch One games.
Mm-hmm.
Which is again, it's nothing like wrong with that. When I say that, I don't say it in the way of like, ugh, like he's like gonna Switch 2, but it's more just like,
I just have less motivation
yeah.
to.
It was like Rhythm Heaven, Tomodachi Life or Switch 2 exclusive. You might be a bit more willing to like, maybe I should get a Switch 2.
Maybe.
But like also next year they could also, along with, Gen 10 could come out next year. They can announce the next Animal Crossing. They can announce the next Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
More series that you are really invested into.
Yeah.
That's what I talk about Switch 2 in general. People like me, like, where's the new 3D Mario? Where's Smash? Where's Animal Crossing? I'm like, y'all think they're just gonna release 50 games in 1 year and then call it quits for the next 7? Do you remember the Switch one? Like, not that it was bad. Nintendo here is pumping out one new game a month.
They dropped Animal Crossing in 2019, or it was 2020.
Yeah, because it was March. It got delayed to March 2020. Best foresight they've ever had.
Listen, no one knew what was going to happen then.
No one knew, but man,
great episode. Anyways,
yeah. I can talk about the game and climate. I might have more. Every time that episode's come up, the COVID episode, I've been a bit more on board with it.
Yeah.
But no, bringing that back up to episode topics, we do have a lot more. Like, I don't think we're gonna have any issue of like a shortage of episode ideas.
I don't think so.
We have a lot. As time goes on, like we could always rely on like doing more specific ones, like talk about the Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about like I could go on about like Donkey Kong Bonanza for like 2 hours, stuff like that. But one thing I want to get to bringing up the episode topics is we do want to do more varied topics, like we were saying, bringing in guests, doing stuff like you talk about the AFSP idea. Stuff more like in the vein of like the road trip episode, talk about more like personal,
like talking about our times that we went to the DMV and we got angry, like
DMV dread,
like not that specifically because I actually don't have any DMV stories. I think you might have more than me, but
I honestly don't.
You have one story that happened more recently with your car.
Oh,
which is fun.
That could also roll into like car troubles. So that story could take up like half an episode. So it's a long one.
And
that's not even DMV. That anyhow.
It was more a portion of it, but
more police. But take that how you will.
Guys, Joey stole a car.
According to the police, I did.
But I don't want to spoil that story too much.
Yeah,
because it's a good one. But like stuff that's more, I guess, hashtag relatable. But not hashtag relatable.
Yeah.
But like talking, like I wouldn't be opposed to talking about like a, I don't know, like every topic is leaving my brain, but like like adult doing our tax live on the podcast.
Screen sharing TurboTax. Don't lie, that's what everyone does. We love TurboTax.
But all that being said, is we're really excited to continue with the podcast even further beyond 1 season or 2 seasons or even 3 seasons. As long as we have ideas and the will to do it, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the plan, and like I said, hopefully.
And we would love the continued support from you guys, and we appreciate it. We see that number growing, and it makes me happy.
Hey, we during the time of this episode, and I just happened to see this, we actually gained a subscriber.
Nice.
I just happened to notice we were one low, and then we were during the episode. I checked my phone, looking at the episodes. I was like, oh wait, our subscribers went up. Look at that.
And it's something where it's like ultimately the number isn't the only thing. I think you'll hear a lot of YouTubers and people who do content like echo that sentiment, but it's like if anything, I see it more as a reflection of our conversations are being like listened to, people like them, and like what we're doing is something that people really enjoy. And
Yeah.
that's ultimately what we both want out of this, is just making like I like to imagine we started this podcast as like a rocky boulder, like a
Yeah.
really rough boulder. Like it was round and that was great, but like now we've kind of like we've been polishing it a lot, and it's so
Yeah.
right now it's like kind of like you can tell it's more shaped to be like a spear. It's not quite perfect. It's rough around the edges at parts, but there is an improvement from the rough boulder that we started off on, and maybe one day we'll get to the perfect stone ball that has no imperfections whatsoever.
Nice shiny metal ball.
Yep.
Stone becomes metal.
Yep.
Then metal becomes diamond.
Yep.
And diamond
becomes netherite.
obsidian.
Netherite.
No, I know that was the easy answer, but I was like, no, let's. I don't know why my mind didn't put the obsidian though.
It's close enough, but you get the analogy I'm trying to
Oh wait,
make.
obsidian's in Minecraft. Shoot, I was thinking of something else when I thought
You
of
get
obsidian.
you. Oh, gosh dang it! I know. No one's gonna get that.
I feel this part needs to be cut out now because that makes no sense.
No, I think it's funny. It's fine.
But no, ultimately, I think we've kind of given our thoughts. This has been kind of a retrospective of the last, I almost said 2 years. I don't know why I thought 2 years. Over the last 2 hours, kind of it's a nice retrospective. And going forward, we have a lot of plans. We're uber excited for everything coming up in terms of this channel, this, I guess, expand the podcast, the brand, stuff like the Discord, stuff like just doing more varied episodes, hopefully getting some different guests. I like the idea of getting guests who are like specialized in like something like you said, like the AFSP, something like that. What's it go? Like this person knows a lot about like space
Or music.
or music or
What Neil deGrasse Tyson on the pod?
Neil deGrasse Tyson, that would be great. But you know, stuff like that.
I would love to be on his podcast.
He has one?
Yeah, he has
I
the
should
Star
have
Talk.
Everyone has a podcast these days.
His is really good though. He and I think one of his friends or something. It's very funny. I've seen clips. But anyway.
But no, I would love someone like, okay, like it's less about them. It's like here's this thing that they know a lot about.
It's more continuing the conversation.
Yeah, and having a kind of informing us about what they know about. I think that could be a lot of fun and shooting questions back and forth.
Yeah.
No, but I really don't have much else to say.
The only thing I have to say is thank you. And I know it's kind of sappy to be like, this is possible thanks to viewers like you. Thank you.
You know PBS. They'll shut down now.
Don't say that. We're not talking about. We're not going to talk about it.
As of 4 days ago, they shut down.
Anyways, the point I'm trying to get to with this is we could do this without an audience, but we have an audience.
We already do.
And
let's be fair, we do without an audience.
Well,
not in this format, but
yeah, but like we appreciate.
Sorry, I'm sorry to break it up, but just imagine every conversation we have, I just pull out the Switch 2 camera. It's not plugged in; it's just always in front of us.
Every conversation
in the car, it's
just
glued to the dash of the car. It's like yeah, like so we do it just like this.
I want to have a car episode where we're just like that should be, well, like we're on a road trip and like for an hour we just have an episode in the car.
We go to LA in the car.
We're driving to LA. Anyways, getting off topic.
Yeah, finish your outro.
Thank you guys. Thank you for sticking with us. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for watching our growth. Thanks for trusting that we will get an episode out even if it's been 2 weeks and there's not one out.
Yeah.
We know and we're sorry. Even if we don't say it, we already know.
Be sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Most of the time, it's typically me.
I mean, sometimes I should remind you, but I don't.
Yeah.
But
I'm the man of the files.
But keep giving us things that you think we should do. Keep giving us episode ideas. Keep telling us what we can improve on in the future. We love to hear it. We're gonna try our hardest to adhere to all of those things. And yeah. See you in season 2.
Bye.
Bye.